Good morning, everybody. This is Max Farrell. This is DexTrader.com. Today is March 20th, 2018, and this is your daily update. All right, everybody. So I will apologize now. I sound like death warmed over, and I do apologize really sincerely that the sound of my voice is going to be nasally, and I know that it can be very irritating. So I'll try to keep the emphasis on trying to be very monotone, not too monotone, but let's just get this done, okay? The first thing I need to talk to you about is, holy crap, there is so many good things that are happening with this company, and maybe you've just been sort of sitting back and watching some of the things that have been going on. But I have to tell you, I'm very, very impressed with the customers and the clients that we have and the way that they approach questions and ask certain things. Now, I know some of you don't know anything about Forex. You only have seen the videos that I put out there. Some of you have years and years of experience, and both sides of that fence of experience have been very, very respectful over some major things with the company. So thank you so much for your patience and your dedication. I can't thank all of you enough for that. With that said, let's get into a few things here. If you are a Nadex person, the systems are starting to work out very well. There is a new strategy. I won't say too new because I've been using it off and on now for years, but it's another one of those things where somebody adds on something sparkling and new to something, and then they call it brand new, Dex 7500, whatever. Okay, I'm not going to do that. This process is using the Bollinger Band. Now, I talked about this in a webinar last night. Check out our YouTube page, links below, and check out the last webinar that I did just yesterday on March 19th, late at night. It's 9 p.m. that we did, okay? I talk about in there a strategy called the Dex Bowl. Now, the Dex Bowl uses our support and resistance indicator and Bollinger Bands to be able to depict certain levels of insertion into the market. And why is that so key is because if I have a chart and you're a Nadex trader, right? You're somebody's trading Nadex. Remember, Nadex uses statements at certain levels, say like 1.230 and 100. It'll be greater than than this number at 3 p.m. Okay, and if you think it's going to be higher than that, if you're going to agree with that statement, yes or no. If you agree with that statement and it's above that, you win. If it's below that, you lose. Okay, it's that simple, right? You both. Every single contract has to be at least $100. You're betting $55, the other person's risking $45, right? We know this. We know that this is the way that Nadex trades. Now, the cool thing is that this Bollinger Band process, when you find that level, right? If this is 2300, and here's that level, and the Bollinger Band system kind of comes like this, right? You see it goes like that, goes like that, goes like that, and has something in the middle. We call that the mean, right? And then we have a price that comes up and touches that level, and the Bollinger Bands, it's at the highest level of the Bollinger Band, and it comes back down and rejects it. That gets rejected, that line, and maybe this is 3 p.m. Maybe you're on an hour trade, okay? This is then something that I start to look at and go, all right, I see that the Bollinger Band's up at that level. We're still heading down. We have maybe a moving average on the process happening. Everything's pointing in that direction. I got 3 yeses to be in the market. I'll then put a contract on that 2300 for 3 p.m. to be a sell, okay? To be a bid. And at 3 o'clock, I'm hoping it'll win. Now, the same thing's true on the opposite direction when you have the market and the Bollinger Bands are pointing up. You got the mean going, you got the market bouncing, you have maybe a moving average heading in that direction, and maybe this is 1.2300 at 3 p.m. Okay, and you're looking for everything above a good, nice, thick line on the system. Now, if you don't know what the support and resistance system looks like, please go have a look. Please learn how to use that. If you're a Nadex person, it's free in your system. If you bought the Nadex package, it's free in that system. That is a tremendous indicator. Now, you may think, oh, just put a bunch of levels on. Anything could do that. No, it can't. Not anything can do that. We designed the support and resistance indicator to be key functional levels. I can find a level at any level I want. 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, whatever. I can put lines down anywhere I want and make it look good. This actually makes it look good and functional. Okay? So keep that in mind. That's a great strategy to use for the Nadex. Now, we use it in Forex all the time. And we're a little bit more flexible with Forex than we are with Nadex. The moment my price touches that line and is rejected by 1 bar later, I'm in the market for a sell. I'm killing it. All right. If you are a Nadex person and you're still training in the 5-minute systems on the site, I got this question asked to me yesterday. When do I change from the site to my own indicator? I can't answer that for you. Only you can. I know that sounds really weird. It's a vague answer. Most people don't like to use indicators. They just give me a signal. Give me a signal and let me validate the signal. But you're still going to have to validate. I made the WB, the web-based 5-minute training system in there for those people that either weren't in front of the computer, or they really didn't like MT4, or they didn't know about it or didn't want to use it. They just wanted to get a signal. They wanted to go to a page, and I made that system for them. But there are also you junkies out there. I know who you are. You just want to have a system that you can control. You can see how many 5 minutes. You can put it on as many charts as you want. You do all that stuff, right? Powerful, powerful, powerful. Then get in there and look at the 5-minute MDM indicator. Absolutely free with your Nadex purchase. Absolutely free. Okay? You also get the Dex support and Dex Mac indicator. Holy crap, the Dex Mac D. Between these 3 systems in here, there should be no reason why you're not doing well in the 5 minutes. If there is, then you better go look at the longer term trades over in basic signals and do the hour and 2 hour in the SR Maxes. All right? All right. Let's switch gears here. Okay? Let's talk about Forex right now. Forex, same thing. We have that tremendous, strong strategy. We have a couple of them. We have the Simply Forex. By the way, you can use Simply Forex for Nadex as well. Okay? It just takes a little bit of courage to look at the levels. Okay? To find the levels. When a market is falling, it usually has these lower lows and lower highs. And then once it gets to consolidation and a level has been committed to previously, okay, you're looking for immersion past that level. Trying to guess it where it's going to do that, right? It's difficult. I mean, if you had the Bollinger Bands on, you possibly could know if it outreached to the outside of that Bollinger Band and the level and rejected. It's possible. So you could use that process. But what would that entail? Well, the indicators you would need are the support and resistance indicator, your default Bollinger Band, your default moving average. I know, right? I said default. The only thing that you really sort of paid for is the support and resistance, right? Everything else, look how easy and simple that is. Now, you can put on an RSI. Okay? There is another version of this process that I don't talk about. It's inside the network when you get the Forex system and the Dex Bowl that I'm going to be doing from Simply Forex. There is an RSI feature in here that just creates one last check mark in the belt. Okay? When the RSI is above a particular area. Okay? This is weakening of the market, overbought or oversold of the market kind of process. Okay? And what we look for is the Bollinger Bands of consolidation, right? Condension right here. And when that happens, this thing's going to, if we're doing it at a level, okay, and we're looking for a bar to be pushed by, we're looking for either a bar to come down to be compressed and rejected, or if it's immersion through, if it poked through the other side, then we're looking for a sell. Okay? And if the RSI at the same time is at a particular level, we're looking at rejection. We have a good idea that it's going to reject and go up. If it's above the line and coming down, it's weakening out, okay, and it could fall easily enough into a sell. And there's automatic sort of stop losses and take profits. Stop losses could be at Bollinger Bands. It could be a support and resistance level, whatever you feel comfortable. Always try to keep an R1 to 2. Boom. Done. You keep that, you got it golden. An R1 to 2 mentality will keep you in the winning. It'll protect you. It'll make you feel safe. It makes me feel safe. Ever since I've been using it, holy crap. All right. That's basically all I have for you Nadex and Forex people. Now, let's get over and do the Dex Effect copy update. So this is, you like my little intro there for Dex Effect copy? All right, so the Dex Effects copy system, all you guys that are here for Dex Effects, thank you so much for being so patient. One of the things that I did at the end of last week when I turned off the bots, I needed to kind of regroup a little bit. Because here's why. And hey, listen, I am extremely transparent when it comes to this process because it's your money. When in doubt, pause, right? Anytime that there's losing trades, I don't assess every single losing trade and try to figure out why did that lose so I can win next time. I can't do that. I do it as a whole, as a macro and probably in micro chunks, but I don't do it as an entire, as every single trade. Okay? I may look at a day and go, why was this day's equity curve down? What did we miss? Was there something geopolitical happening? Was there something, news oriented? Was there a mistake? Okay. Why was this day really, really good? Why did this day just explode out of the norm? Why did we do 500 pips today and minus 1,600 the next day, right? We're looking at those particular, not those numbers, but we're looking at those particular kind of variables. So the previous week, we didn't really lose a lot, okay? Oops, let me do that. Okay, but we dropped pretty good. We dropped back down to a zero process here on the equity curve. We sustained for a little bit. Now, why did this happen to the severity? Well, let me show you. The Dex Grinch and the Simply Forex bots trade at a certain level. Each one of their equity curves kind of have a certain look to them, and I'll show you what they are. Okay? In this kind of example, all right, if the trades are doing really well from this point to this point, and the trades are doing really bad from this point to this point, having them both on would neutralize our equity curve. Okay? If I took some from this one and some from this one, we could possibly still balance out. But when I turn one off completely and turn the other off, we're going to go with the equity curve that's in there. So the 1 week where the equity curve was doing really well for the Dex Grinch, I kept it on and we're doing very well. As it started to do bad, at the same time here, I switched to the SFX. But unfortunately, it too was having a downtime. And I needed to make sure that if two bots are having a bad reaction to the market from our trading strategy with it, then I need to find out what the heck is going on. So what I did is that I stuck with our bots that have the one that has really super good number for a particular asset. That's the USD-CAD, okay, from the Vader. The Vader has a really good solution for the USD-CAD. Let me pull it up a summary. Look at this. On the buy side, certain 30-something pips per trade. On the sell side, only about 15, but still pretty good. 93%. We're in a Vader trade right now on Simply Forex. Okay. Not Simply Forex, I'm sorry. On Max Prime. On Max Prime, we took a small hit this morning. A couple small hits. I mean 30 cents, 10 cents, 17 cents, come on. But the idea is still the same. Okay? But the USD-CAD is we have an open trade. Now, I know, we're minus 14 pips in it right now, but this is coming from the Vader. So sitting at 93%, I don't judge this. I don't judge that number. Okay? So, when I switch back and forth, I looked at a process that may have not have been short to get into the SFX. Now with the Simply Forex model, I have to keep an eye on it. Why? Let me show you something here. I'll just draw it out here. Using a moving average process, okay, with a crossover. This is our signal line right here. When it crosses over on the up, okay, and we have a bar that substantiates that cross, you get in, okay? But what could happen is that the market could completely reverse out and be stopped out, right? If we got in here, we put our stop loss up here. I'm sorry. We put our stop loss down by the low here for a particular time. That's priority, right? And our take profit was up here. When it crosses over here, we get out of the trade. When it confirms a crossover, we get out of the trade. So in order to watch some of this, we either we just take the hit, just take that hit, bump, bump, be done, all right? Or I can watch it and say, okay, I know now that we've lost a certain amount of pips through, a level, and maybe we set another level here. It doesn't look like we're going to get back. We got a really strong level here, and we've already pushed past it. I'm not going to wait for it to drop out another 10 pips. I could save us. I could also, in the reverse, as this thing starts to take off, start moving stop loss and trailing my stops up to secure as many pippage as possible. Or it's just going to run to its 80, 100 pips, whatever it's going to be, 60 pips in some of them. So I want to be able to watch those particular trades. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. Ooh, where's it at? There's the Odin. Nope, nope. There we go. Simply Forex. Ta-da. Okay, so right now we're in a Euro USD trade. And we're in the positive. Now looking at this, we've hit the crossover. Boom, here's the crossover. We've hit that pretty strong. I'm now going to move my stop loss down right behind tight. Why? Because I know the market's moving good. I don't want it to come back and compress. That's 16 pips is gained right there. You just watch 16 pips be made right there. Okay. Now, could it come back out and pop out and take me out of there? Yes, but not taking my 16 pips away. I just made money right before your eyes. Okay. So I'll keep that there because I know that this is starting to set a level right there because we had a little up bar, a little unsure what to do. It's going to drop down. It might come back up to contend a little bit, but this might be the new level for it to be set. Now, it doesn't work on every single trade, and we may get stopped out to where if we gave it a little room, but I could have easily set an R1 value and said, okay, when it gets to R1, I'm going to move to break even. Okay? I could just move to break even right there and be like, this is a free trade now. Just a little bit beyond break even to cover bid-ask spread. Okay? That's where this life is at for us. If you don't know what all this stuff is, you can buy into it at Simply Forex. If you bought in at DexFX Copy, we'll give you a discount over it to learn how to trade it. Some of you already have it. Okay? So, in that condition, this is what I'm going to do. As a DexFX member, you also know that not all the bots are mine. I'm being transparent with you. Simply Forex, solely mine. Built it scratch to scratch. Dex Grinch, partly mine. And I say partly mine because there's a money management system in it. There is a stop loss protection system, a loss protection system, account protection in it that I placed. But it's off of a pretty popular, and I won't go into who it is. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that I took a bot that was open source and made it for what we need to make a good tool from it. Now, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, then no harm, no foul. We also have the Odin, the Vader. What else? Yeah, that's, oh wait. I can just go here and look. The Vader, oh, and the Cannon. The Cannon hasn't really produced in too much on the summary, if I pop over, we have a couple small deals. Okay, the Great Britain pound USD, which we're looking at, is starting now to come back up again, but sitting under 10 pips. You know, this one's pretty good, sitting at about just under 10. This one's only about 5. So I'm okay doing trades like that, but you're going to have a lot of wins losses ratio. You're sitting at 69%. Now there's some flips that I could do in that process. Right now it's doing pretty good, sitting at 490 pips. Well, that's 49 pips, sorry. Sitting in the positive. Okay? So I let those things just run out and do their thing. Now, I not only look for bots, okay, and EAs. I also look for relationships. And the relationships that we look for, okay, are with people who contact DexFX Copy and say, I'm a trader. I have a good network. I have a good system, a good strategy. I'm just not a good marketer. I'm just not good at you know, putting it in front of people. People hate me, or whatever they say, right? Or I have a great system, but I just use an email system. How do I get it to where I do a copy? And I help them get everything together, and we make a relationship together, and we say, okay, if you can trade, if your group can trade and get us a certain amount of pips per week, per month, per day, then I'll look at making that relationship into our, and bring you in to our fold. We make these relationships. Why, as a company, would I do this? Because I want to be successful. I want you to be successful. And guess what, folks? My ego is not worn on my sleeve. I know I don't know it all. I know I'm not the best of the best of the best. And anybody who says that they are just so full of themselves and narcissistic that they'll never be good at trading. They're never going to help you. A good trader has to know when he has to yield his run. He has to kind of look and say, all right, I have to put it in the hands of this. So I'm going to show you something pretty secretive right now. Ready? Don't tell anybody. Let's get over to Dex Pips. Now I'm showing you this. Let me, here it is, right here. This is Dex Pips after 2 days. Okay? It started a Sunday night. So Sunday night, Monday, into Tuesday today, this morning, 9:18 in the morning. Pretty good, right? Now, as anything happens, getting into a certain point, look at this, it's all these trades. So not too bad, right? You get losses, but look at the wins. 32 pips, 49 pips, 44 pips, 42 pips, 74 pips. Okay? Don't worry. This is coming to you. This is going to be on our network. This is huge. This is my network here for my FX book. I'm sorry, my FX book. I mean, for DexFX Copy. Okay? Now, yesterday morning, we were in the hole by almost 80 pips. So in one day, we did pretty good. Let's look at growth. Let's look at balance. But again, this is just starting out. Do I go and put everybody's account to this? No. This has to run the week. We have some back history with this company. We have some back history with that company, but just a group of individuals that are trading. And it looks really, really good. Now, I don't want to excite you on how many pips it is because we've been down this road before. But I'm looking at 200 or 300 a day. And if I'm not doing that, I don't know. That relationship's still going to be there. Because listen, anything above 20 pips, you should be jumping up and down for. Anything above 20 pips a day, 40 pips a day, you should be just screaming from the roofs, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so this week's going to play out with that system. And every day I'm going to do a little update on it and kind of show you. It's called Dex Pips. Okay? And I'll give you an update on what that looks like over today and tomorrow. And at the end of the week, we'll have some decisions to make for the beginning of next week. We'll have to look at drawdown. We'll have to look at buying power. We'll have to look at your accounts and see if it's something we can get you into. Now, with that relationship with them, we split the costs of an amount for us to be able to do that. And by law, we can't do a managed system with that where we can only do, charge you 20% of your profit margins. We can't do that yet. Okay, with that system. So there's an opportunity here. But some of you, you're going to get this with your Dex effects. Some of you that are watching this after the fact, you're going to have to pay some money for it. But trust me, it's going to be worth it. Oh yeah, it's going to be worth it. All right. That's basically it for everybody. I'm Max Farrow. This is DexTrader.com, and this is the daily update here, March 20th, 2018. And as always, trade well.